All right, guys. Well, I'm finally fully recovered. I thought I was last night, and I tried to do a video, and I was just not being very coherent and fucked up a couple times. That happens sometimes when I'm doing videos, usually in the beginning, but sometimes 20 minutes into it, I'll just start will lose my momentum, my train of thought. So, I'm finally in a decent position. I got a new car yesterday. I got a new BMW. Very excited about that. My dad helped me out for my birthday. My birthday's tomorrow. And it's already been, best birthday I've ever had. I've never had a car that nice, I think my dad helped me with it just, because I'm doing good. I don't remember if I talked about this last night or not, but, this month with Patreon, I appreciate, you guys still with me. I know I explained how it's going to work and do videos for each tier, the first week of Patreon. So, the first week I'll do an exclusive story for each one. So the $3 tier gets 4 exclusive stories, and then I'm going to kind of do what I was doing before and just kind of jump around, we'll finish China, we'll start new ones, go back to juvenile delinquency. There's a ton of shit we can do. So I guess I'll just try them out and see how popular they were. I think with China, the reason that I kind of just got over it, well, first of all, I recorded a video and then I couldn't find it because when I record videos, I don't have space on my phone. So I'll put them on a hard drive, and I have literally 30 hard drives with files, and then I lose shit, and then I hate doing videos twice, and then I'm such an insecure little fuck that when people say they don't like the stories, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do this anymore. Not this storyline. So, but I will go back to finish it for those of you that were wanting to hear what happened with the rest of that. And this one right here is going to be Florida. I think I'm going to start I've been saying it for a while, but I hate YouTube. I hate that once in a while push notifications come up and, it's like a chick. She's like, dude, I sucked your dick back in 2003 and it stunk. And I'm like, oh man, they say personal stuff like that, and I knew it stunk, but you don't have to say that online. Who knows who's seeing that? My mom might see that and she looks at my dad. She's like, I knew it. He looks like a stinky dick. I am. It's out there now. And my dick does stink sometimes. I'm not really sure why. I think probably ADD. You ever notice, when you're a guy, I don't know if all guys use loofahs, and I'm kind of embarrassed that I'm talking about it now, but you put the body wash on the loofah, what do you go for? Your balls and butthole first, right? It makes no fucking sense either. Why would you do that? You have to wash the rest of your body. You have butthole juice everywhere. And, sorry, I forgot to put on airplane mode, so I get text messages and stuff. Anyway, what was I just talking about? See, my ADD flares. Oh, yeah, so, well, it relates to what I'm saying. When I'm taking a shower, I'll be going for because I don't do the balls and butthole first. I used to, and then I grew. Well, figuratively, not literal physical growth. But I realized that if you wash your butthole and wiener first, then it's going on the rest of your body, and that's bullshit, dude. I'm sure there's people that want that on them, but I grew out of that. I'm walking the line these days. So, point is my ADD will be flaring, I'm scrubbing, thinking about stuff. Sometimes I sing, and then I forget to wash my dick, So that's why. And so, my whole body smells bomb. Irish Springy. I don't use Irish Spring. I use Old Spice body wash. And so my whole body smells dank, right? Bomb ass. And your body smells fucking bomb. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, kinda. It fucking smells good, dog. makes me want to sell oranges on the side of the freeway. You know what I'm talking about? No, I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know. That's some shit my uncle used to tell me when he told me I smell good, dog. That guy. So I have this body and it's all clean, and then I just have this stinky dick. Let's get into the story. So I'm gonna do. We're gonna do Florida. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty interesting. Being out of my element out there, being locked up in Florida after being set up by some raging pedophile. I'm getting all these. So someone commented on one of the videos. That's when I'm getting distracted. And they had said that they just got out of Victorville and that everybody was talking about me there. It can't be good talk because I ultimately got smashed off that yard. But I'm curious to see what people from Victorville would say because, I don't know. And I'd leave there on the best terms. And like the irony with that is that I do think that I was always like a really solid convict. My last term, obviously I had a bunch of problems. I got jumped a bunch of times. I don't think I deserved it any of those times. I mean, how often does somebody get jumped and be like, you know what? You shot that. I deserve that. I mean, that hardly ever happens. So I'm not saying that, but in my case, I really honestly believe that it was bad calls, and it seems to be pretty common in prison. I don't know. Yeah, maybe because my family was bailing me out all the time the first couple terms. I never ran into getting smashed like that, but I did on my third term. And, so there's going to be people that watch me and, oh, dude, you're PC, you're not solid. At least I'm honest about it, man. You're going to find, I'm not even going to go into it, but there's some prison channels of motherfuckers faking the funk, and I'm always going to be honest with you. Sometimes I might fuck up chronology, but I'm definitely not going to lie. Because these videos help me as much as they seem to help somebody else. It's just kind of therapeutic for me, So I'm honest because it serves me no purpose to lie. And sometimes I'm sharing about humiliating stuff. Masturbating? Who talks about masturbating? Some straight up sex offender shit. Now, let me talk to thousands of people about me. Never mind. Jacking off. About me jacking off. Thousands of people. Including my mom, dad, aunts, uncles, my mom's friend she sees at the grocery store. She's like, oh my God, he had a drug problem. It makes him awfully sexual. My mom's like, I love him. My parents are cool like that, though. They'll support anything that I do, My mom actually liked wasting talent. She read it when she was in Italy, and she did you really kill somebody? And I was like, no, Mom, I made that part up. She's like, oh, good, because I sent this to my friend Joanne, and she was wondering the same thing. She didn't know if you actually killed someone. You have all those tattoos. Tattoos? The fuck? Do you know how many, new age lesbians have tattoos? I'm sure there's new age lesbians that have killed, though. For sure. I've run into some where I'm like, damn, if you haven't killed, you should, because you are a grump. And in no way am I talking shit about lesbians. I'm just talking shit about the grouchy ones. I am pro-lesbian. I have a lesbian tattoo. That was kind of weird. Look. You see the two girls kissing? I don't know. Sorry, I won't do anything like that again. That was pretty weird. It's really hot. The fucking air conditioner's not working in here. I'm like dying. Woo! All right, let's get into the story. So where we left off last time, we're in the Florida story. For those of you in other tiers that haven't heard Florida story, basically the whole Mike Virgin. I kicked my whole channel off with the Mike Virgin story. I did what happened before that, during that, and now this is after that. So I ended up getting arrested. I got set up by some pedophile cops. Upon research of my documentary, I found some very startling connections to what I think is the Epstein thing. I don't want to get all QAnon and be like, oh my God, they were making mango adrenochrome cocktails and sacrificing children. It's not that kind of thing. But there was some pedophile ring in southern Florida, and I think that Mike Virgin was most definitely a part of that. You know, wouldn't be surprised if Epstein knew that guy. But we'll get into that. I don't know if we'll get to it in this video. Maybe. So I end up getting set up by this cop. He was a pedophile. He was one of Mike Virgin's clients. And I went to go save my pathological liar chick that I had run away from rehab with. I don't know why. Thought that I was in some, you know, crime movie or something where I had to go save the girl. And I end up going with this convict Lou, this old, hey, yo, dude, oh, he didn't talk like New York, but he was from New York. Kind of talk like, hey, yo, dude, I'll fucking kill anybody for a fucking hit of crack, yo. I don't know, that probably wasn't a good voice. Gotta warm up a little bit. I don't have any water. Karina and I have been boofing. No, we have not. But, kinda. So, Lou, you know, he was like some guy that basically would do muscle work for heroin or for hits of crack. And I end up meeting up with him. He gets a gun. We almost get kidnapped by this group of like black guys at this house. And there's this toothless black lady that really wanted to suck my dick. She told me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be honest. It's a maybe. Let's get high first. I didn't really finish that story, but we don't need to. So anyway, I end up going to jail. Now, I've been on methadone for about a month, you know, and I've been shooting China White heroin at Mike Virgin's. I've been smoking crack, and then boom, I'm in jail. Now, I'm the only white guy in this jail, and there's a guy named Mad Dog. He had a brand of like his astrology symbol. I don't know. What do you want to get branded, dog? Dude, Aries, bro. Like, what gangster does that? Hey, you know, they're like checking their sign. They're like, ooh, it's going to be a very important month for starting new careers. We should tell Mad Dog. Mad Dog, come here. It's a really good time for entrepreneurship, Mad Dog. He's like, oh, all right. I had these like huge lips, and like he'd come up to you. He was like an aggressive panhandle. Just tell me no. Just tell me no. And he was like so scared. His fucking name was Mad Dog. It's like a villainous name. And he was. So I'm kicking. I'm literally the only white guy in there. They call me Hollywood. And they say like really scary stuff. I'm Hollywood, man. Man, you fuckable as shit, man. Look at those lips, bro. I'm like, oh. Yeah, I don't fuck. Guys. I have AIDS. Oh, so do we. So do we, Hollywood. So do we. The AIDS thing doesn't work. I saw not to make rape humor, but I did see an anti-rape video. Said in the event of unlawful sodomy, shit. Apparently shitting turns people off unless you're taco. Hey, man. Sorry, I have coffee teeth. Hey, man. Can you imagine someone like that with a grill telling it, hey, I want you to shit on my face. Swear to God, this ain't no joke. And it's like, well, I mean, how can anything be a joke when you look like that? But I guess if you shit, people won't rape you. So that was always the ace in my back pocket. So anyway, so I get in there. I'm kicking. You know, some guys trying to sell me pick and poke tattoos for very high price. I mean, basically he was trying to extort me. And I was too sick to eat, so I would go to the table, get my tray, and Mad Dog would just tell me no. And he'd just take my shit. Right? And I was so dope sick, I was just like, Probably made bitch noises like that too. Like he takes, And when you do stuff like that, people are like, man, let's steal from him and let's fuck him. And I'm like, keep doing that. You sound like a broad. some fucking, all right, anyway. So one day Mad Dog comes up and grabs the tray, and I am not having it anymore. Fuck that. Grab the tray back, and I hit him with it. Now that the tray is like a thin piece of aluminum. It's like it's nothing. You know, it's more like shock value. I end up getting jumped. Go to the infirmary. Try to get me to tell. I won't tell. But I did make the you know. I mean, I've been conditioned. PC's the enemy. You don't go to protective custody. If you got, like, I'd always thought that if you go to protective custody, there was like this like hall of fame of dicks that you just like, you know, sacrificed. Oh, PC? Just tug it off. It's like bloody gore trails come off of it. You're like, here. And then they like put it in like a glass case. There's just this huge glass case of like convicts' careers that have been like shattered, and all that's left is this fossilized cock. Yeah. It's really hot. When it's hot, I become delirious. Okay, so I won't tell, right? Because I'm still of that mindset. And I didn't have a kid. I had really no reason. The only thing I had was like being a convict. Oh, it's God's my word, man. You know, you get out, you're homeless. It's so cold. I'm glad I got my word, man. Here, you want some? You broke yours. I'm gonna keep this. This is better than warmth. This is my word. You know, it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. You know, and it's good. I mean, listen, I'm not taking anything away from being solid. I'm not one of these embittered non-solids. I'm unsolid. I was never a fucking criminal. I was a dope fiend. I didn't belong in this world. Coming at it from a dope fiend perspective, you know. And I've really turned my life around. My life's cool right now. So anyway, so they bring me back to the same unit. The cop's like, listen, if you're not gonna tell, you're gonna go back to the same unit. I'm like, nah. See, now the bitch noise is a little more confident. Nah. Let's go. I weighed like 126 pounds, had a buzz cut. I really did look like I had AIDS. I probably did have AIDS at the time. I don't know. Maybe. I don't have it now, but, you know. I take B complex, multivitamins, and B complex. Okay, so because I didn't tell, they end up bringing me back to this dorm, or this unit. It's a dorm. It's like barrack style. They put me in the Sally port. Everybody's mad dogging me because I forgot to mention that, I mentioned in the previous video, they sold me some weed. Now, this was the classic swag brick weed, you know, just junk. But I smoked it, and Matt, let me just tell me no. He comes and he hits like the whole thing in one hit, and he gives me this little like, where it's like burning my fingers. I'm like, you know, and I just take one. So they're all looking at me because, you know, a couple of them got extra blankets taken, and that ain't cool. White boy did that. Gotta kill him. So they're looking at me with this look that I'd come to know in jail means that you're gonna get hurt by people. But I'm a dumb kid. Well, I mosey on back in, you know, after the Sally port. I go right to my bunk. Now, as I'm walking, all the eyes are looking at me on both sides. Which, I think maybe out of my naivety, I didn't really realize how severe the situation was. Like, I'm in a unit with, I don't know, 60 black guys and me. And there's like one Puerto Rican in a wheelchair, you know, that couldn't help me if I wanted it because he was like in this separate part and he was disabled anyway. I don't know if he could back me up, you know, against 60 black guys. I don't know what we would do. It's irrelevant though, because the guy, he just stayed like in his own corner, you know, and he played Sudoku. But then once in a while he'd cuss. He'd be like, motherfucker! and it would like startle everybody, but you know, everyone just kind of let him be. So I was the target. I was the only non-black guy, the only non-Haitian, you know, and I was like still one of those naive suburban white kids that thought that I could go up to them and be like, hey guys, check it out. I like a little album called Chronic 2001. You may have heard of it. Dre's in it. Exhibit. And then they're just like, Hollywood, shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. And take your shirt off. My what? Take your shirt off. Show us some motherfucking California love. I'm like, oh my God. Like in my bunk, right? So, but no, seriously. So, you know, going to my bunk, I kind of knew that these guys were just going to get me. I didn't really have a plan. You know, it's like later on in my jail career, I'd plan if something like this were to happen. But I'm just going to start making my bed. Not even done with, like, so when you get to jail, you get a white sheet. You have to tie it to your mattress. Now, I never do that because I'm one of those guys in school where if there was an arts and crafts lesson, or like, you know, I've explained this before. Hey, we're going to make macaroni necklaces. I'd be like, oh my God, sounds amazing. And then like, I'd wait for them to put all the supplies out, and then there'd be some girl next to me, and I'd be like, hey, can you show me how to do this? I don't know how to do this. She's like, okay. And she'd like do it for me. She's like, that's how you do it. And I'd be like, oh. And then it would be done. And so I never had to do anything. And this went on and on and on my entire life. And it's the same when I get to jail, you know, like people usually out of courtesy are like, hey dog, want me to help you make your bed? And you know, normally people are like, I got it. I'm like, that'd be amazing, brother. You know, and then you hear them later, they're like, hey man, I think the new woods are queer, man. I think you're a queer for doing the eye movement thing. What about that? What's wrong with queers? Oh, no, nothing, man. Nothing. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. What do you mean yet? And then they just start fighting. All right, so back to the story. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just, you know, I'm coming back to life and trying to, like, get in the flow, right? So I'm at this particular place, I don't have anybody to help me make my bed. Nobody wants to do anything. They're all reading like Malcolm X books and shit. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ. And I hate racist people. A ton of black friends. I'm with a Mexican chick. I have a Mexican kid. I have a fucking African-American dog. That was pretty racist. I'm sorry. Thank God it's just Patreon. No, I mean, you know, I got a ton of black friends, and I honestly don't like racism, but these guys were racist, you know, and there's a myth where only white people can be racist, you know, I mean, dude, no doubt black people have the right to be upset because what happened to them before our time was absolute bullshit, so I get it, you know, but I don't know, these guys hated me. They wanted to see me, you know, in pain. So what happened is I'm making my bunk. I get hit from behind, you know, and it was, the thing is with this particular like beatdown, it happened so quickly. And that's why there was like so much filler leading up to it, because it could have just been like, yeah, I walked in and then I got jumped and then that was that. And I got taken out in a gurney. Because I got hit in the back of the head as I was like tying the upper corner of my bunk. And it's really all I remember. I mean, there were like brief glimpses of orange socks hitting my face. And I remember thinking that they were like sock puppets. I'm serious. I was like getting knocked out, and they looked like sock puppets, you know? And I think I even probably made the noise, you know? And so I wake up. I guess they took me off in a gurney. I know that they took me off in a gurney because, you know, this dude that I'm celled up with is telling me, you know, and they have me in this medical ward, you know, and I didn't have to get stitches, thank God, but I'd gotten beat up pretty bad and I'd gotten a concussion. Wow, that's fucking fantastic. Metaphor for my life. Metaphor for my life. So I got a concussion, and of course they give me the 800 milligram ibuprofen. So the one good thing is that the second time I got beat up much worse. It wasn't like serious injuries, but I was lumped up really fucking bad, and you know, and I had bruises all over my sides. So it was obvious that they had kicked me a bunch of times. I didn't break any ribs or anything like I did at Santa Barbara County Jail, but like I got jumped. And you know, like I said, like, I mean, I'm not above an ass whooping. I've been beat up plenty of times in jail or prison. If you do enough time, especially if you're in random parts of the country like Florida where you're out of your element, it's going to happen to you. So I'm sitting there beat up, and one of the cops comes and he's talking to me. He's a white cop, right? Of course, the chew, Diet Mountain Dew, all that. He's a CO. And he's like, just kind of like the other cops that I dealt with there. Go, hey, man, you fucking disgrace to white people. You're fucking disgusting, man. You're a piece of shit. You're a punk, bitch, all that. Now I'm gonna give you one chance. Okay, I'm gonna give you one chance to tell me what the fuck happened. If you don't tell me what happened, I'm just gonna write shit in my notebook about what happened, and it ain't what really happened. You're not gonna like what I think happened. I'm gonna say you got butt fucked. He didn't say that, but he's basically saying that if I didn't tell on them, that I was going to get in trouble. I mean, that was the subtext of that. And again, I mean, I've never told on anyone. But, you know, again, automatically, I'd done some time in Santa Barbara County Jail. So I was schooled. I knew not to say anything. And he was telling me that if I didn't, you know, if I didn't give him any information, that I was going to go the hole. Because... I would have been given an incident report for fighting, because it was the second time I got beat up in like 24 hours. I thought he was bluffing, to be honest, because I was still naive enough to think that COs don't do that. They don't trick you like that, because they do. You know I got into it, and I had apologized for, talking shit about COs in general, and again, I want to get away from generalizations, because that's an honest job, and a lot of times you're in a desolate town, that's all you can get, and a lot of those guys make a lot of money, but there's a hell of a lot of them that are pieces of shit, and I don't trust COs when I'm in prison, especially, because they've tricked me. I thought that he was just bluffing. I didn't think that I could really get a disciplinary thing for that. He was not bluffing. I end up going to the hole. And they put me in the hole, with this like old white guy. He's definitely like an old skinhead type. He's got the lightning bolts, all that kind of shit. And what ends up happening is I'm tired. I have a concussion, and I end up going to sleep. I wake up, right, and I don't really talk to this guy much. That's the thing. Like, maybe we exchange like 10 words. He talked kind of monotone, and it was like, hey, it seemed like maybe he did get butt fucked. I'm not sure, but he's like, hey, man, what they got you for, man? He's like some southern guy. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I got beat up and now I'm here. He's like, did they do anything else? So, well, what do you mean? Well, Nah, I don't know. What do you mean? Nothing, man. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. And that was about the extent of our conversation. So it's weird in that particular hole. I don't know where I think I'm still at gun club, because they had transferred me later to the Palm Beach County Stockade. I go to sleep, And or these bunks are like, they're side by side, they're not stacked. So you're like in these cells, and there's like, and there's bars, and there's like a bench on one side, a bench on the other. I go to sleep and I wake up, and this dude has a sheet wrapped around his neck, and this had happened to me before, right? At Santa Barbara County Jail. I had an exact same situation where I wake up in the middle of the night, I look over, and an inmate has a sheet wrapped around his neck, trying to hang themselves. At Santa Barbara County Jail, when that had happened, I was probably like 19. It was probably about a year before this. And I just turned right back around and went to sleep. I wake up the next morning and the guy's right there at breakfast. And, they like feed at like 4:30 in the morning. This is at Santa Barbara County Jail. And I'm like, you're still alive, huh? He's like, you're a real piece of shit. And I was like, why? And then all my loser Peckerwood friends at the time that have probably all fucked me over in some way, because that's just how it is when you meet people in jail for the most part. I've met some good people, but a lot of garbage people. You meet the better people when you're doing long-term prison time. But, they asked what happened. I told the story about how I'd woken up. I saw this guy put a sheet around his neck, and I didn't do anything. And they're like, why didn't you do anything? I said, because I was tired. I'm not trying to deal with some suicide shit. And they all just started laughing. This guy's like, you're a piece of shit, man. What if I killed myself? I said, you didn't. That was for attention. He's like, you were the only one that was up. What kind of logic is that? I'm like, dude, I'm not a philosopher, man. I'm not trying to go into this deep shit right now. And then people are giving me high fives. They're like, yeah, suicide's cool. I was like, yeah. So I learned my lesson, right? Learned my lesson. You don't really I felt bad. I don't like when I make people feel bad like that. Even though I was getting some validation for kind of making a joke out of it from my older Peckerwood friends, I still don't like doing stuff like that. I do have a conscience. Deep down, there is a solid person beneath the layers of scumbag, right? So this time, exact same thing happens. I don't even know this guy. We had a brief conversation. He puts this sheet around his neck. And this time I'm like, well, I feel like I'm obligated because I've been down this road before. I've been down this road and I felt like I'd made a mistake. So I'm like, hey, man. And he looks at me, and I'll never forget. This is the weirdest shit ever. He looks at me and goes, hey, man. He's got a sheet wrapped around him. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey, man, you want a Hummer? As this dude's trying to kill himself, he's asking me if I want a Hummer. I'm like, the car? He's like, no, man. Fucking blowjob, man. I'm like, how long are you doing in jail? He's like, long enough. I'm like, what is long enough to you? 60 days? I'm like, you're talking about you want to suck my dick? Is that what you're saying? He's like, yeah, man. I want to give you a Hummer, man. Then I let him do it. No, definitely didn't let him do it. I sat there and I looked at him. Now, I'm not homophobic, and what does homophobic even mean? It means you're scared of getting your dick sucked by some toothless carny like this guy, some southern carny that wants to give you a Hummer. Or I guess it's what the definition is now, is that you're scared of gay people, which I'm not. Ton of gay friends. I like gay people. I think they're cool because they don't give a fuck, They're just like, yeah, I'm gay, what's up? And you're like, yeah, that's cooler than the guys who are like, yeah, I did 40 years and fucking, now I make fucking wooden canes out of people's, I don't know. I was gonna say something about their teeth. I don't know. I guess I'm still a little tired, running out of steam a little bit. But the point is like, at least gay people are like, at least they don't care, and at least they're not like putting on a facade, And what are you gonna do? Pretend that you like don't like dick as much as you do? Oh yeah, I'm gay, but like only kinda. No, gay people are like usually like super flamboyant. They like ride flamingos to the supermarket. It's pretty cool. You feel like you're on a Jetsons episode when you hang out with gay people. But anyway, I was 20, and I didn't have the same kind of empathy that I have now. And I'm, just got a concussion. I'm still kind of dope sick. And this dude that's trying to kill himself is asking me if he can suck my dick. And this is absolutely true. This is the very only time in my life that I was propositioned that straight up. It's been other times that it's been more subtle. Like someone's like, hey man, you want to smoke a bowl of meth? I'm like, okay. Like, hey dude, you want to go in the jacuzzi? I'm like, you have a jacuzzi? They're like, nah. My sister's got a bathtub though. I was thinking maybe we could go in there. I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm cool. I'm going to go jerk off in the bathroom to chicks. Oh, me too, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, and you got to remember, I just got jumped twice in 24 hours. I have a lot of built up aggression. Blowjob may have been a good answer to that, but instead, I just get up off my bunk. Now remember, these bunks are level. I just go up to him and I hit him as hard as I can in the face, right? Right here, connected with him. And I'm 126 pounds. I think it was more shock than anything that I hit him. I think that he thought that he was in some like porn plot, that after he said that, like I was gonna like just all of a sudden be turned on and be like, my dick sucked. Go ahead and shoot that. No, not happening. Especially not by a fucking ugly carny. You have to be a hot tan dude for sure. Not some pale toothless fuck that probably has carnival diseases. Shit that we don't even know about. You get a disease and you start pissing out slurpy looking fluids and shit. So I hit him in the face. Really, like I said, more for shock value. It didn't hurt him, and I had a concussion that I was working on. He still has the noose on, right? And he's like, "Hey!" And he like yells. It was like really kind of frightening. "Hey!" And I'm like, I'm like so bitch made at the time that I could only hit once with one hand. So I hit him with my left. Now with the left, I will say this: I was scared because I knew that my right didn't work. I knew that I essentially had one more shot before this guy was going to knock me out and suck my dick. Oh, shit, my landlord's kid's right there. Jeez, that is not the kind of thing I should be saying. God, how do you even explain that? They just heard, all they heard, I walked by, I'm like, yeah, before this guy knocks me out and sucks my dick. My landlord's, God damn it, my front door's open, so they heard me say it twice. Oh, God. Jeez. Maybe I should wear a disguise. I don't know. I don't even need another cigarette, dude. I just smoked one. Alright, so anyway. There we go. Alright. So, I hit him as hard as I can with my left. Now, when I hit him with the right, honestly, like I said, it shocked him more than anything. When I hit him with the left, I could tell it hurt him. Because he's like, oh! Ow! He sounded really like he went from Carney to Elton John in 10 minutes. I like Elton John though. I don't know. This guy was not likable. He was a fucking weirdo. Ah! Why would you do that to me? And I was like, Jesus, dude, you sound like, some southern woman now. What the fuck happened? Now he's kind of like, why would you do that? And he's like, his voice is all loud. Well, Cop happens to be walking by. He sees this bizarre scene. There's this guy with a noose going like this. Why would you hit me? And I'm just like standing above him all skinny with my shaved head, with my concussion and my lumps. Cop's like, hey, what in the hell is going on in here? I don't say anything. They get Carney's like, he tried to suck my dick, man. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Are you serious? And I was like, dude, that's not true at all. This fucking weirdo tried to suck my dick, and I fucking punched him. He's like, that's not true, man. He put this noose around me. He was trying to suck my dick. He's a fucking weirdo, man. I think he's on weed, man. I was like, dude, you know what? Get me the fuck out of here. Right? Which you're not supposed to do, by the way, but whatever. I was a kid. I was in fucking Florida. Doesn't count. Cop takes me out of the cell. Puts me in a cell by myself. Right? And he's like, hey, man, I'm just going to be completely real with you, brother. We're putting this in the incident report, and they might bring it up in your case, bro. And this CO was actually pretty cool. Like, they might bring it up in your case. He wasn't even him doing it. It was like his, I don't know, the shift manager, whatever, like whoever is in charge, like the captain or whatever. Somebody had like said that they had to put that in an incident report where I wasn't going to be charged. There was no disciplinary type action that was going to be made. But like the whole thing was really weird. I'm not like joking about any of that. This is exactly what happened. The guy told the cop that I had put this noose on him and tried to suck his dick. It's absurd, dude. And like now everybody on the tier thinks that I'm some like fucking, skinny Gandhi like rape figure or something. Like I'm just going around like all skinny and like beating up elderly dope fiends and then trying to suck them off while there's a noose around them. It was wild, right? One good thing is the cell that this guy brought me in had a phone. So, we've talked about it. Sometimes you're in cells in just various places and you'll get lucky and you'll get a phone. I hadn't had access to a phone for a while. I mean, I did when I was in that unit, but I was so dope sick I really wasn't getting up. So I end up calling my parents. Can't get a hold of them. They're on a cruise to Italy. It took me a while to figure out what my Uncle Ron's phone number was. I don't even remember how I did it. I don't even remember. I know the first time when I was, on the street of Florida and I needed money, I had the people at 1-800-COLLECT or whatever track him down. I'm not sure how I did it the second time. But, I ended up calling him and I let him know, what's going on. And he says that he had talked to my parents, then my parents got me a paid attorney. As much as I put my parents throughout the years, I love them so much. They love me and they never gave up on me. And they were always fighting, thinking that one day I'd actually turn it around. And I think that day is here. I really do. I just don't see myself ever going back. I don't even think I'd consider something illegal, when I have Nico. It's just, it really changed my life. I mean, I was always a good person, I think, but having a child really reinforced my desire to be good, So my parents put up, I don't know, I think like $10,000 for a paid attorney, which is a lot of money, but it doesn't get you like the top defense attorney. It's also Florida. It's not LA, or Santa Barbara. So for $10,000 there, and they have some big time people in Miami, whatever, but it's just not as expensive as California law, some of the attorneys I had were $1,500 an hour, $1,000, $500 an hour, shit like that. So I have an arraignment. I have some sort of, I don't even know if it was a bail hearing, whatever it was. And I end up going to court. Now, when I'm in the holding tank, I run into Lou, the, Italian dude that I had tried to get a gun and go help me break Megan out of Mike Virgin's house. I see him, he's like, yo, dude, what's up, bro? What's up, Lou? He's like, oh, man. It's all bad, bro. They're trying to give me life sentence, man. I'm done, kid. I'm fucking done. I told you I was done. That was stupid that we went there. For fucking $40 with the heroin that you gave me, man. I'm fucking stupid, man. My mom told me that I was stupid. I know I'm stupid. I'm not gonna give up, though. They got drugs in prison, bro. I'm cool. I was already in a prison in my heart, bro. I love you, dog. I was like, dude, I knew you for an hour. He was like, bro, I think we should sell up together, bro, when we're upstate. And I'm like, do you really think I'm going upstate? Of course, typical, junkie alcoholic mind. All I care about is myself. I said, do you really think I'm going to go to state prison over this? Oh, dude, what'd they get you for? Oh, possession with intent to sell heroin? You're going upstate, man. It's going to be life-changing. You should get a tongue ring now. You know what I mean? A tongue ring? If you don't know what I mean, then you probably will definitely get one. Hey, what do you think? And then all these other weird Italian figures fucking pop out. Yeah, man, the kid looks like a bitch. I was like, I am a bitch. No one said that. But the conversation with Lou was real. He was on the run for murder. He's from New York. He was running around Florida in his pimped out Cadillac, and he did kind of odd muscle work, like what I needed. Like when someone needs a tough guy to go handle something, this is what they do. So I talked to him for a while, and that was the last time I ever saw him. He told me that that New York was coming to get him. I don't know the nature of the case that he was on. I don't really know what happened. I don't know what the situation was, but it's kind of tragic because he was a cool guy. I mean, I don't know, maybe he killed a family or something. I don't think so, though. I think if I had to guess, it was probably, I don't know, am I trying to justify Lou's murder? I didn't even know the guy, but I mean, he just didn't seem like a lampshade or like a mall massacre type, So I end up going to court, and once you do transportation one place, and I've explained it at one place, it's very, very similar. It's I don't even know see these stupid comments come through. That's why it's very hard for me to do lives because I get so distracted. But so I end up going to court, and I meet my attorney, some guy, and he's got I remember he had long gray hair, and he had these glasses, and I was looking at him like, this guy has threesomes with prostitutes. For sure. Had that look. There's a lot of attorneys, you see him in court, you're like, oh man, this dude's a scumbag outside of his day-to-day job. You could just tell that he was just some guy that, I don't know, squirts Banaka in his mouth and meets women on Christian Mingle, and then, tries to talk him into I don't know, anal beads or something, tries to turn out the good girls, even though there's a lot of freaks on that site, from what my friends have told me. Nothing against Christianity, I'm just using it as an example. So he tells me that basically he can get it dropped down to a simple possession. He's like, it's your first time in trouble, you're not from here. Now I was under the belief that I could get bailed out. He's like, they're not going to give you bail. You don't have a Florida residence. You're from California. They perceive you as a flight risk. There is one problem, though. An incident occurred in-house the other day. Apparently, you beat somebody up in a cell, put a noose around their neck. You're not being charged with this, but this is relevant conduct that's going to the district attorney. This could be a problem when, this can be leveraged against you when you're trying to ask for a lesser penalty. So perhaps we should address this with the DA. Tell me what happened. Now, and then he gets the Banaka. It's kind of embarrassing. First of all, I'm in a jury box with a bunch of other inmates, so they can hear every word I say. There's no way not to explain the situation without being embarrassed. I'm going to be judged by him, the inmates, the district attorney that he's about to go tell. And so I just tell him the story. I go, look, man, I got jumped a couple times. They put me in the infirmary. I wouldn't snitch. So they gave me basically the same kind of infraction I would get for mutual combat. They're treating me as if the fight, when I got jumped, it was a mutual thing. So that's how it works in jail. If you keep your mouth shut you know, one of the things that they do to try to, you know, dissuade other people from doing that is you'll get in trouble for it. So even if you get beat up, you're getting in trouble. And so I tell the guy, I'm like, look, you know, I got jumped and then I was with this guy. I woke up, he was trying to hang himself. I asked him what he was doing and he asked me if he could suck my dick. Sorry, I gotta make sure my landlord's kid, you know, isn't out here because that's just weird, right? He's like 8. I'm talking about knocking people out and sucking them off. And the attorney looks at me after I say this and he goes, I remember this so clear, he goes, it was like the laugh in Goodfellas. I was like, dude, that's what happened. And he like goes over to the like district attorney, which is another guy that looks like he, you know, snorts bowling balls out of strippers' assholes. And they're like both like, Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, this is not what I want to hear when I'm in court. This is a guy that my family's paying $10,000 for laughing at me. I might be exaggerating and laugh a bit, but he laughed at me, and then he went over and talked to the district attorney, he laughed at me, because it just sounded like such a fucking outlandish thing. So they end up, you know, saying my name. My name is Ryan Harrison Leone. That's my middle name. So they're like, next case, you know, state of Florida versus Ryan Harrison Leone. He's been charged with possession with intent to sell heroin. He has pleaded not guilty, but he is requesting bail, and that's when they had denied it. Now, the judge says that they had heard, this is public, like, we could probably get the transcripts. I should probably get them. She says that, that there was an incident in jail of violence. So my attorney is like, whoa. Wait a minute. I just addressed this with the district attorney. My client was propositioned by a homosexual cellmate. My client was defending himself to ward off a sexual assault. And I don't see how that's relevant in the case. Judge is like, well, it's relevant in the case if you guys are asking for bail. Not only does he not live in Florida, but he's also beating people up in jail. Now my attorney is like, he's not beating anybody up in jail. He is defending himself from predatory practices of sexual predators. Everybody in court is laughing, and the judge looks at me and she's like, what is your take on all of this? What is your side of the story? Let me hear it from you. Why am I getting reports that you're already getting in trouble? You've been in jail for like almost for under 2 weeks. I said, well, Your Honor, I mean, what my attorney is saying is absolutely factual. You know, I've gotten in 2 incidences, 3 if you consider the last one. I'm going to say I don't want to go into, this is all on like court record. I'm like, I'm not going to go into details about it, but I didn't do anything wrong. You know, any time that any incident occurred, I was just defending myself. I'm not a troublemaker, and I'm certainly not a homosexual. You hear someone in the back of the court go, homo, for real. And then everybody starts laughing. I mean, it was just so absurd and so ridiculous. You know, and this all really happened. Like this, I say when I'm joking, you know, like when something didn't happen, I'll be like, oh no, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. But this stuff really did. We got to talk about how I had to basically protect myself from a sexual assault case. Whatever. Ultimately, after I've been laughed at by the court, I've been laughed at by the judge, my attorney, the district attorney, everybody laughed at me, everybody in the courtroom. Denied bail. and she's going to have to put some thought into changing my charges, dropping them down because the district attorney has to be in agreement. The fact that he was laughing at me with my attorney further enforces the idea that we all know that they're all basically on the same team. And this is a paid attorney, but they're all part of the same, social. They're part of the same social group. These guys go out to dinner. They cheat on each other's wives with each other, the dudes, and. It's like they all have all these inside jokes. There's probably still guys in West Palm Beach, Florida that remember what I'm talking about right now. But yeah, it's just, it was really embarrassing going to court and having to talk about that kind of shit in front of people. So there's probably people whispering like, yeah, that motherfucker got raped, and I'm just this little scrawny white kid. I look like completely non-threatening. So they take me back to, back to the gun club, and I have to go back to the hole. And, I have a phone, but I don't have a lot of people's numbers. I have people that, like I talked about when I was trying to get bail, ex-girlfriends and stuff from high school, people's whose numbers I'd memorized. And I knew Mike Virgin's landline, and I called hoping that Megan might pick up, just trying to get some clarity for the situation and probably out of boredom. Another guy picked up that I'd never talked to before, didn't recognize his name. And I go, hello? And he goes, yeah, who's this? I'm like, this is Ryan. Ryan who? I'm like, I was just living there, my girlfriend, or my ex-girlfriend, she lives there. And he's like, who's your ex-girlfriend? I'm like, Megan? Oh, yeah, she's here. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? He's like, what I said, she's here. That's it. What else do you need to say? What else do you need me to say? She's here. She's here right now. I'm like, I go, is she working? You better fucking believe she's working. She's one of the best pieces of ass we got. Now, after all this crazy person had done to me, I'm talking about Megan specifically, after all of it, I still got jealous. And I go, and honest to God, this is on everything that's important to me. I put this on Nico, put this on Paul. I go, is she fucking Mike Virgin? He goes, yeah, as a matter of fact, she is. I said, no, she isn't. And I'm crying, for real. No, she isn't. He goes, yeah, she is. I go, swear on your mom's life that Megan's fucking Mike. He's like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna fucking swear on my mom, you fucking weird ass dude. Nah, I'm not fucking doing that. Jesus fucking Christ. You know what? Go fuck yourself. Hangs up on me. And I remember sitting in the cell all by myself that just had this public humiliation in court where we had to talk about homosexuality. That basically I was painted as I was some victim, And then I get back, I can't get a hold of my parents. My uncle tells me that we're getting this attorney. And then I call Mike Virgin's house and I find out that not only has she been turned out into a prostitute, but she's also sleeping with Mike Virgin. And her video will come up at some point. We got to just figure out exactly how to do it. We might have to cut certain elements out of it. I'm kind of trying to figure out the best way to do it. But I'm definitely going to try to do two more stories tonight. I'm going to try. I'm tired as fuck. Not in the mood. By the end of that video, I was really losing steam. But, guys, show must go on. I appreciate you. It's my birthday. I still have 5 snake ordinance left. For $60 right now, which is what they used to cost, I'll throw in a free wasting talent. Joe has them right now. We'll send them out. I could use some extra cash for my birthday so we can get some nice food. Ricky Davis sent me a gift. Appreciate that, Ricky. Solid. The rest of you, love you all. See you soon. Palabra.